Okay, so this is what I was pointing to as where I would start first, and what I'm drawn into initially, because it's easier to get to. I see comic books right here, and I see this binder, so I'm just gonna look and see what's there, and then I'll just start going through some of these boxes and just peeking in and seeing what's in there and seeing what strikes my interest. All right, so this one here, this binder had some pattern designs in there, which I'm not really interested in, but the comic books, yes, I'm just gonna start off by grabbing this stack, and you can hear Jeff doing some work in the background there. We're gonna take a look and see what issues we have here. All right, so I think this is a good place to start, just grabbing some modern comic books just to get things going a bit. And some nice titles. Morbius is definitely popular, and there's also there's a Punisher #1, a Doom #1, Spider-Man, which I love Spider-Man. I see a bunch of that here. There's also, I'll show you right here, it is Batman and Dracula. Anything with Dracula in general is really good to pick up comic wise. So there's a bunch of other ones here. There's some older ones towards the back. I have a bunch of these. You'll see it in a moment. It's called Classics Illustrated. There's an old Ghost Rider, so that's cool. He'll be coming out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe soon, I think. And yeah, so I have a bunch of these back at Primetime Treasure headquarters, so I would just add these to it and try to make some kind of lot. All right, I have to say, as I'm pulling stuff off and put it in the box, is this, because now I'm making holes where there used to be stuff. Is that painful at all? Is that like,
Not at all.
No?
I just pulled the hole with something else.
All right. So check this out. Like, just in here, there's all these card sets. Like you could see there's a Marvel one, there's a King Kong one back there. It might be like a Universal Studios. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. I mean, it's just, wow. Gosh. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with the King Kong set. That's really cool. And then you just find random stuff like this. Like you just, pull something out, and there you go. You got a Spider-Man book. Now it has this little sticker residue on here, but you could easily get that off. You could rub a little bit of peanut butter on there or some olive oil, and that'll come right off, and you won't even know it's there. So I'm gonna add this one to the stack of stuff. Okay, so I looked through these other shelves, and there's lots of big bulky toys, which I'm mostly trying to avoid right now just for space issues. I'm looking more towards smaller, more compact types of items, which is what draws me into the comic books, for example, and the trading cards. But I'll also get something like the Woody Woodpecker piece if it something that really appeals to me. But I'm definitely interested in boxes of comic books. So I'm gonna open these up and see what's in here. All right, so I took that one box out of the corner there, and we set up a little work table here so I could work through stuff. And so in the front here, there's a bunch of coverless comic books, which you could make money selling coverless comic books, especially if they're old and you have them in a big lot. So you could just take these and put them on eBay as an auction, and they'll definitely sell. But then here there's a mixture of modern comic books, which I can't show you that well right now, and then there's some older comic books. All right, so we just went through all of the box of comics here, and I wound up pulling out a nice stack. And so Jeff will go through them later, and we'll figure out a price for everything. But so far things are coming along nicely, and this systematic approach of going through things one section at a time is working out well. All right, so we're going through another box in here, and Jeff has a whole bunch of mounted pictures. They're Hollywood ones. They came out of where?
Club Roxy.
Where's
in
that?
New York City. It was.
Oh.
It closed. And these ones here are slightly damaged ones.
Okay.
That's why I think.
Okay.
I have a whole bunch that are at home right now. They're all packaged and priced. It's Famous Stars. But as you can see, there's water damage on a lot of these at the edges. At one point, these were all framed and hung in Club Roxy.
Okay. Wow.
A lot of good stuff. Unfortunately, this batch has a lot of damage on the edges, but there's still...
Yeah. You still might have someone who buys it and will still frame it, and will hide some of that damage on the side.
No real damage on that one.
No.
But Does anybody recognize who that is? No.
No.
There's quite a
Oh
few.
my gosh, that was amazing. Look at this one.
And
Oh,
how many people I know who this is? Do you know who that is?
is that... God, that almost reminds me of Ronald Reagan.
That's exactly who it is.
Wow.
So there is some good ones in here that aren't water damaged.
Awesome. Are you impressed I got that one, Jeff?
No,
No?
I figured
Come on.
you're old
Come
enough to
on.
not remember.
Come on.
Win one for the
Wait a
Dipper.
minute. Give me that one. I want this one here. This one's coming home with me.
Uh-oh. What will Mrs. Primetime say?
This is prime time. I gotta hide this from Mrs. Prime Time. Don't tell anyone, all right? Don't tell anyone, Jeff.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a look in here. And wow, look at this. We've got a whole bunch of Mad Magazine books. And I love coming across these. They're always great to grab and pick up. Jeff's got them already priced, but you know, we'll see if we can make any kind of bulk deal on them. You could see down below there are a whole bunch of other Mad Magazine ones. I'm not sure if they're all Mad, but they're all looking like they're at least cartoon related. So far they look like they're all Mad. Let's see, there should be another row down below. Let's take a peek down there, see what we could find there, and then pull them out. So I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to tell now. We'll bring it to the table and check it out. All right, so here's all the Mad ones pulled out from those initial layers, and then underneath there's more Mad, but then there's some other things down here, like, you know, Flintstones and stuff, and you know, some other things like Partridge Family. So, you know, but they're all like, you know, pop culture related books. So they're pretty cool. A lot of them are first printings too. All right, Jeff says I'm gonna like the next box if I like that one. So let's see what we got in here. Oh man, he's right. Comic related books. I love these. Wow, look at this. Stan Lee, Conan the Barbarian #1. Doctor Strange, Conan 2, Conan here. Let's see what else we got. Doctor Strange, Conan, more Conan. And then looks like there's more random kind of ones underneath here. But there's Peanuts books. Looks like you got some Charlie Brown stuff here, Jeff.
There's a lot of Charlie Brown
So
books.
I love the old Charlie Brown books.
There's quite a few.
Oh my God, got Andy Capp. Wow, look at this. This
The bottom row is probably all
BC.
Charlie Brown.
Okay, let's take a look. So as you can see here, my stack is growing larger and larger. Jeff was nice enough to give me a package of strawberries that go along. But look at this. Let's just pull this out. This is Eternals #1. I just showed this in my top 10 what's sold video for June of 2021. And I sold this for $259. I just told Jeff, you need to take this and just you sell it. So I give it back to him. He's also got Eternals #1 annual and stuff. So, but I'm still, you know, pulling stuff out of here. We're going through that stack of comics right over there. There's one left on the ground, and we're just going through them systematically. All right, so we're still going through stuff, and like it's just crazy. There's all this like random ephemera and things. Like I don't even know like what's in here. I mean, we'd have to totally dig this thing out. But wow, jeez. Oh gosh. All right, so still digging. Jeff says there's some role-playing game stuff in here, like Dungeons and Dragons. I love that stuff. Anything by TSR. So looking forward to seeing what might be in there. So start looking.
Right there.
All right, here we go. I have not taken the lid off of these things yet, and let's see what we've got in here. We definitely have some sets here. So I've sold this before. In fact, ironically, prior one I had of these, I got out of a storage unit haul where I bought the contents, but wasn't at the actual unit. And so here you could see a lot of the older hardcover books. I always say to look for anything by Gary Gygax. He's very popular. So that's an older one, but then you can see here he has some more modern ones, the rule books, but these are all hardcovers. This is a good one here to get. This Dungeon Master's Guide. You've seen me source this before at estate sales, and a bunch of magazines and stuff as well. So there's a lot of stuff in here. All right, well, while Jeff's playing with his swords over here, I'm gonna go and open up this box here to see what we've got inside. Looks like it's another mixture of, well, mostly actually soft cover role-playing game books, and these ones are not all Dungeons and Dragons ones, so they're different types of titles, including this advanced set, which I've never seen it in the actual box before. I have had the individual books that go with it, but never had the actual box, so that's cool to see that right there. So we pulled out some more boxes from up top, and just to show you some of the other stuff that Jeff has here. This is all old daily news, so you can see here it's from 1969, and
About the space landing.
he's got all sorts of stuff, space landing stuff, and he's got all sorts of historic things in here, including, if we move back more, there's stuff like here you could see on the trade centers from the New York Post. So a lot of historic events that are documented here. And you notice too that Jeff does a really good job at protecting his items by putting them in plastic. He does that not only with his newspapers, he even does it with the small books, and this is how you keep things in great shape. So you know who else did that a lot, Jeff, when I went over there? If you saw my video, Mile High Comics,
Yes.
Chuck Rosansky, he puts so much stuff inside of in the bags to keep things protected. Another thing that's amazing is that you even have these big books bagged to protect them.
Well, you don't want to put a sticker on a book.
And everything up here is children's books and records. Even though they're in comic boxes, they do serve multiple functions. You can put lots of different things in there. So that's what's in there, just in case you're curious. All right, so you're wondering what's in this little box here, this little guy. Let's pull him out and see what's in here. Oh, look at that. So this is what we're talking about with records. So these are the comic book and record sets. So it's a really cool one. You'll occasionally find one of these at a garage sale. Not this specific one here, but I've seen like Captain America before. Look at this. We got a Star Trek one. Make sure you check to see if the records are in it, and also check to see if the records are damaged or not. But there's a lot of really cool ones that Jeff has here. So, and then he's got a bunch of soft cover and hardcover books in here, some Disney stuff as well. So I mean, folks, this place is just loaded, totally loaded.
And there's another one below it.
Yeah.
Boxes of comics right there.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, now you gotta be careful, folks, in here, because we've been moving stuff around, and like, this glass, you gotta make sure this doesn't fall and break because you could get hurt. And like this, what is this thing here that fell on my head before? This thing. Yeah.
This is a screen.
Yeah.
Movie screen.
Yeah, so this movie screen just fell, crashed
It
right
hit
down
your
on my
head.
head.
You damaged it.
Yeah, so my head is so hard. Did that cause that?
Yes.
Oh boy. See, I was always hoping I'd get on the big screen one day, but I didn't think the big screen would go on me. So, there you go. All right, let's keep digging. Let's see what's in here. Good thing I'm tall. There's lots of kids books, and they look vintage, Jeff.
They are.
Oh, vintage kids books in here. Wow. I mean, look at that. Felix the Cat. I mean, my goodness. This is just crazy. Wow. All right, so in here we have a bunch of golden books. I don't know if that's the whole box. Jeff, is that what's in the whole box is golden books? I mean, these are
Probably, there might be a mixture of other stuff, but there's the
Yeah.
majority of them.
I mean, look at this.
Golden
There's
books.
Disney ones. I mean, it's just amazing how much stuff is in here. And again, you know, he's taking the time to price them. He's taking the time to protect them. Look at this. We got Little Lulu. I've shown you Little Lulu before. There's Tubby Tompkins. So, I mean, it's just incredible. So the stuff that I'm not getting today, that doesn't mean I'm not interested in it. It's just I have to pick and choose, and I have to be, you know, smart with my time also, and also respectful of Jeff's time. But I just want to show you some of the stuff that's in here. All right, let's look in here. Oh, wow, look at this. This old vintage magazines like Hee Haw. What is this? Oh my God, look at this Mickey Mouse Club one. I love that. That's awesome. We've got some Star Trek one. I have a bunch of these, but definitely cool. And Star Logs. So I have actually every Star Log issue, or the vast majority of them. So that's the only reason that I wouldn't get these right now. But if you could get big lots of Star Logs, you know, you could do really well with them. But you know, so sometimes again, there's reasons like that why I might pass on some of this stuff, because I gotta sell my own big lots of them before picking up somebody else's. But those are cool. All right, so this is another box from that top part of the shelf. So there are a few things in here I'm interested in. There are some more trade paperbacks like this Batman one here. There is this one here is another trade paperback. Esme, who has a YouTube channel, Reselling on the Side with Esme, go check her out. She's a big Star Trek fan, so she's probably drooling looking at all of this awesome Star Trek stuff in here. And I have a bunch of Star Trek stuff myself that I need to sell, including some of these pieces here, so that's why I'm not picking some of this stuff up again. And there's another Starlog magazine. But again, just to show you the diversity of stuff that he has available, it's really amazing. And fans of the 1960s Batman TV show like myself would love this one here. Cool book to begin with, but then it is actually signed by Burt Ward right there, so check that out. How cool is that? So on this shelf, there's a bunch of the Big Little books. You could find them in hardcover like you see here, or you will sometimes see them in softcover version, but definitely look to pick these up at estate sales or sometimes at flea markets. You'll often find them bagged, but really estate sales are the best place to get them, and you get them for a low price. Then bulk sell them is my suggestion. That's what I do with them. So Jeff, what do you want to tell me here?
This tote right here with a gray top is all Big Little books.
The whole thing?
The whole tote.
Oh my God. God, we're not going to get to that today, folks. That might be on visit 27. So, okay, folks. So basically what we accomplished today is I was able to go through this entire section. I was able to go through all of the comic books that were in the boxes over here. Now, these weren't all comics. Some of these had like toys in here, like cars and stuff that I wasn't interested in, at least right now. And then we also went through everything on this shelf up top, and I went through this shelf here. So if Jeff has me back a second time, what I would do is start here. There's comic book boxes that I didn't get to go through, and then just keep pushing back, and then eventually one of these decades I will get into this unit at some point. So boy, oh boy. Oh, look at that, glow-in-the-dark dinosaurs. I might have to get that just as a teaser. Let's go for it. Let's start encroaching into this unit with the dinosaurs, folks. All right. Now, we're going to have Jeff do a little teaser for next time, okay? So, Jeff, I didn't even look at this yet, but what do we got here?
Next time on Prime Time Treasure Hunter movie press kits. Whoa!
Oh my God, this is crazy. Oh man. All right, so now it's time to do the negotiation and settle up on a price. Now, you have to realize going into the negotiation what type of situation you're in. This is not any type of liquidation sale. This is a private access cherry pick. So you're going to pay up more in that type of situation. So basically, out on the table, you saw earlier in the video, I had a whole bunch of comic books stacked up and a whole bunch of paperback books. And that's basically what I wound up trying to get from Jeff. Over 100 cherry pick comic books. I'll show you an example in a moment. And over 100 of those paperback books, which he had priced at 10 to 20 bucks a piece. For example, the Mad Magazine books. And then there were, miscellaneous things like the glow-in-the-dark dinosaur toys and the Angie Dickinson picture and, some other things like the Minnie Mouse purse and stuff. So basically, I just asked Jeff to look it over and tell me what he thought in terms of a price. So Jeff looked everything over and eventually he turned to me and he said, I'm thinking $600 for everything. And I'm thinking to myself, what? So now the long and the short of it is when everything all got settled with the negotiation, I wound up getting everything for $300. And at some point, Jeff turned to me and he said, I don't know how you wound up getting me down from $600 to $300. So I'm going to explain to you and to Jeff, who I know is watching, some of the techniques that I like to use in situations like this. Now I'm in trouble for next time because now Jeff's going to know some of my techniques. So I'm going to have to use some advanced ones next time. But I really like to try to stay calm in these types of situations. Like, you can't react by like yelling and exclaiming like that's crazy. There's no way I could do that. Just stay calm and use what I call the silent technique, which is where you just don't say anything. And what that does is that usually creates an awkward period of silence. You look like you're thinking and reflecting on things, which you are. And you're hoping that the other person says something that can help you out. Now, sometimes they'll just throw out a lower price without you even saying anything. Now, sometimes they'll say something like Jeff said, which is, well, if you'd like, I could break things down into sections and then I could show you how I came to that total price. And I jumped all over that opportunity because I knew this was a way that I could negotiate within the lot. And I also knew it was possible that as we're going through things that Jeff might lower the price as we're going along. And that's exactly what happened. So when we went over the paperback books, so the Mads and the Peanuts books and the Conan and Doctor Strange, there were between 100 and 120 of them. And as Jeff looked at him, he said, I could do these for $1 a piece for you. And that was great because remember, a lot of those were priced like 10 to 20 bucks a book. So I knew I could do well with that. So now it was a matter of negotiating on the comic books, and there were about 115 to 150 comics. Jeff knows his comic books. He used to own a comic book store. So, he's familiar with like the key issues, the important issues. I'll give you an example here. So this is a little section of what I got. So these are all vintage Howard the Duck comic books. And you can see here that I was annual 1, I've got issue 2, I've got issue 3, I've got issue 4. Now, he had issue 1, but he pulled it out. Now, he would have sold it to me, but I would have had to pay up more. So these are some things that start happening as we're going through. I said a mini negotiation. All right, we'll pull out issue 1 to lower the price. Here's, number 5. Here's number 6. There's a 2 of number 6. Here's a number 7. Here's a number 8, a number 9, a number 10, a number 11. But you see, we go to 14, so we skipped over 12 and 13. Why? Because Jeff knows that in issue number 12, that's a cameo appearance of Kiss in comic books. And then, as you could see right over here in issue number 13, this is the first full appearance of Kiss in comic books. So if you need a way to remember that, right there, it actually is called Kiss and Tell right there. And if we open up to the first page, there you'll see Kiss right there. Now, Jeff pulled this out, okay? I didn't wind up getting it from him. I have this in my, own stash of comic books. So I just knew if I got the other ones, I could just add this to it and then it would help make a run. That book is worth about $150 if it comes back graded, near mint plus. but individually, that book's worth around 20, 25 bucks. And if you combine it with issue 12, you get like 40 to 50 bucks out of it. So he knows this type of stuff. And so just things started getting pulled out. And eventually I told him where we needed to get to was $300. And basically what I had to sacrifice to get things down to $300 was I had to sacrifice Woody Woodpecker. It broke my heart to sacrifice Woody Woodpecker, but he's still on my list that one day I will get him. All right, now one last point, and this is going to come with a big time, be on the lookout modern comic book for you that could be worth a lot of money, but you could easily miss it if you don't know what to look for. And this is to do with trying to work in an emergency backup situation to your sourcing so that if your original plan on how you're going to recoup your investment and try to make a profit fails, that you have something to fall back on. And that's where this book comes in really handy. This was just made in 1992. It's Incredible Hulk, Future Imperfect. It's part 1 of 2. It's in terrific condition. As you could see, if this book comes back graded as a 9.8 by CGC, it easily sells for $300. Why? Because it contains the first appearance of a character known as the Maestro. Now, you wouldn't know that from looking at the cover. It doesn't show him, it doesn't say it, but that's why trying to build up this knowledge really helps you. As you can see here, I have another copy of it just laying around. It was originally priced as $8, and I didn't even pay that for it because I sourced it in another big lot. So, develop that knowledge, look out for that stuff, and work in those emergency backups. So I got everything for $300. Jeff and I at the end, we walked away from it saying that we both felt satisfied. So normally you both want to walk away feeling happy, but you know, we both felt satisfied. So we said, all right, we'll deal with that. At least we're not both mad. So let's go check in what Jeff is doing and say goodbye. I had to get you a little candid camera shot there. Show you in action.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have as much stuff as normal. You don't have all your toys and everything here today. Just the comics.
Just the comics. I meant to tell you that last night.
Okay.
It's going to be
that's all right.
comic only day.
That's all right. Normally there's tons of toys and everything here too.
And the booth extends
Yeah,
out.
goes all the way out here and everything. So, what do you think of your new YouTube fame?
Interesting. The comments.
Well, I thought they were mostly positive.
Oh yeah, it's mostly positive.
Tons of comics here. And
Golden Age.
yeah,
And the covers were on it because the sun was beating down, so
yeah,
now we
and
can take them off.
and don't worry too much about the prices. Basically, just go up to them and they'll say how much you want to pay for it, right?
Well, it's kind of one of the things.
It's part of the negotiation.
Part of it.
Yeah. So if you ever buy the Central New York Regional Market, make sure you stop by and see Jeff.
This is the D Pavilion.
D Pavilion. Okay. D
And
Pavilion.
I'm usually in spot D64 or 62.
Yep. Stop
They're
by.
next.
All right. So Jeff, you messaged me last night that you have a present for me. I'm assuming it's Woody Woodpecker.
It's not.
It's not Woody Woodpecker. Oh, look at the size of this dude. Wow. Oh my God. And it's ice cold too. Jeff, man, thank you so much.
You would have had it last week if you had shown up.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know where I was? I was visiting Mr. Buys a lot.
Ah.
Yeah, so I did trip out there. That's the only reason I wasn't here. But yeah, thanks. So you've actually been saving this for me, huh?
Well, I got it last Saturday. And I brought it
Okay. It's vintage now.
Yeah,
There you go.
vintage by a week. Oh, yes.
It's vintage for me because there's no Mountain Dew by me that lasts for more than a week, so that's for sure. I can't wait to guzzle this down. Thanks, Jeff.
Well, you're lucky. I still had it. I almost drank it. Dom hasn't even scratched the surface of what I have. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.